and welcome to today's live Q&A. I'm Katie Keith, founder and CEO at Barn2.
And I'm Sam Waynes, and I'm the head of video here at Barn2 as well. And we have a great live stream for you guys today. If you have never joined us for one of these live streams before, the way this works is we're here to answer your questions. So if you have pre-submitted a question, that's great. We will get to it throughout the structure of this live stream when we get to the plugin. And you can also leave live comments anywhere that you're watching from. You can just say, hey, and hang out with us, or you can actually ask a specific question about a plugin. And we're certainly excited this week because we have something very special planned for you guys.
Yeah, we've got a new thing that we're doing for this live stream, which is that as a thank you for watching, we're giving everybody a 25% discount off basically any of the WordPress plugins on our website or our All Access Pass. It's only live for the next 2 hours because it is specific to this live stream. So if you buy something in the next 2 hours, then use the code LIVE25. Sam, have we enabled the coupon code field on our checkout page?
That's not something I did.
Right, okay, I will do that next time you're talking. So it'll be working in about 30 seconds. And enter LIVE25 on the checkout, and then you'll get 25% off.
I'm sorry, Katie, I assumed that was already there. Okay.
Yeah, cool. We only have it on during sales, and we normally only do one sale a year for Black Friday. So yeah, it suddenly occurred to me, how will they actually enter the code? But that's a very quick job, which I will do now.
Cool. Well, we don't want to bore you guys too much with a whole bunch of crazy details. So we're just going to jump straight into the questions today. So I'm just going to hide these banners that we have. But don't forget to use that LIVE25 discount code once Katie enables it. So we have one question from Angela, and she asks, does the All Access bundle include the live preview? So the answer to this is yes, it does include live preview. And I'm sorry if we didn't clarify that properly on our website. Live preview, if you don't know, it's an add-on for Product Options, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Product Options is a big plugin on its own, and the live preview just adds some, well, live preview functionality to it. And if you have like Product Options, you may not necessarily have live preview, but if you have the All Access Pass, you are entitled to both of them. So yeah, we'll definitely clarify that on our website when we make the next update. And speaking of product options, I need to begin presenting, actually. That would be a great idea. Here we are. I want this one. Yeah, I think I want window, this one. Perfect. Okay, and it's working today. Great. And you can even see the top of my screen because I'm presenting the whole window, but that's all right. So this is WooCommerce Product Options. Now, definitely one of our premier plugins, one of the best things that we have in our library. And I'm not even sure where to start because there are so many great things that this plugin can do. I'll go down to the gift card because I was playing around with that one today for a video. So this plugin adds option fields to your products. And there are at least 16 different option types with many ways to set up each one. In this particular product here, we have a gift card product, and you can select using radio buttons, and there's conditional fields that can show up, text inputs. These things can change based on what you select. And then you can have things like number fields or selections like this, and even a date picker field. And this is just an example of like maybe 4 different things. But if I go to a different product, I can show you different kinds of things. We have these text button fields. There are also custom printed options. This is actually using our bulk variations plugin, so maybe ignore that for the moment. But yeah, you can upload designs. Here we go. We have some Barn2 logos. You can upload a design into the live preview plugin extension for the plugin, and you can add images to products and preview them like that. This is one of the things that we're actively developing right now. So there are changes coming up for this plugin all the time. So that's product options. Let's get into the questions.
Yep, so we had one from Marcelo who just wanted a general overview of the plugin. Hopefully we've provided that. If there's anything else that you particularly want to know about it, then let us know in the comments and we can do further demos showing specific features of it. We got a question from Fadi, which I'll show in two parts. First, currently I want to try product options. If it works fine with me, I would maybe add live preview, but I'm still not sure. Can I purchase product options, then purchase live preview alone later? Or can I refund it and purchase the bundle product options plus live preview? Well, what you can do is buy product options on its own now. And then if you go into your account on our website, barn2.com, you will see upgrade options under that purchase. So you can then click on one of the bundle ones that include live preview. At that point, it will just charge you the difference between what you already paid prorated if it's been a while through the year. So you won't pay any more that way. Although, to be honest, it might be worth just getting the full bundle now because you get that 25% discount, which is only available for the next 2 hours. So what I would suggest is that you buy the full bundle, use that live 25 discount code, and then afterwards you've got your 30-day money back guarantee. So if you want a partial or full refund, like you could just have live preview refunded, for example, then we can do that at that time within the next 30 days.
Thank you, Katie. And by the way, did the discount code option get added to our checkout?
It appears it was already active, so that may have been an oversight after Black Friday when we were supposed to deactivate it, but it was already on. Well, it doesn't matter. Most checkouts have a discount code field all the time. It's just we tend to hide it because there are rarely discounts.
Guys, if you have any more questions about this particular plugin, we usually have a lot of questions about it, then you can leave them in the comments and we will get back to you as soon as it makes sense during this live stream. For now, we're going to move on to the next plugin.
Yeah,
I'll leave that to Katie.
Would be WooCommerce Product Table. Why is it that stupid shape? That's not the size of my browser. Maybe if I refresh, something will happen, or I might need to.
Oh, that's better.
Is that better?
That
okay, cool. So this is our WooCommerce Product Table plugin, which, as it says in the name, it displays products in a table. And the reason you might want to do that is based on the type of products that you sell. Typically, people use WooCommerce Product Table to sell fairly technical products where product data is more important than having big images. In this example, we just updated our demo. We're showing car parts and tools and things like that. And with that, you want to know about the product much more than you want to see a big, pretty picture of it. So yeah, think about the types of products you're selling and whether that product table layout would be useful. And also people use it because they want a one-page order form. As you can see, the right-hand column here has add to cart buttons. It has quantity pickers. You can select variations, and then you can add them all to the cart just from the table. Whereas normally in WooCommerce, you have to go to the single product page in order to choose quantities or variations, then add to the cart, then go back to your product list, and so on. As you can see, it's a much quicker way to buy large numbers of products, which basically makes it like a quick order form. You can do all sorts of things with it, like you can change the filters that appear at the top. You can add filter widgets in the sidebar. You can change your columns to show different product data. Like, I'll just find a different one. This one has some more data, such as the SKU and the stock, and others will let you display things like product attributes. This one's a really kind of, this is all about the data. You've got the color, the size, the brand. Basically, you can do whatever you want in terms of what product data you display, show or hide the images, and configure it however you want. But the key is we're selling products that don't need big images.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I have a question already. So this was pre-submitted, and the question is, they basically say that my client needs a product table with variations like this example, which I've got up on the screen now for you. And the question is it possible with your plugin to do this exactly? So really, this is exactly what they're looking for. And you can see that in this table, there are so many details. First of all, there's the product code or SKU. Then there's the image, if necessary. And then you have all of these little dimensions in millimeters. And you can see that there are larger dimensions, smaller dimensions, things that it comes with. I guess this is translating from another language, so I'm not sure if this is exactly what it's supposed to say. But yeah, some kind of time frame, 1 to 4 weeks, and then
That's
the
in
price.
English, Sam.
No, it's translating from another language into
Oh,
English.
okay.
Yeah, because
Like
it's an
add to
EU
cart
site.
and things. I'm pretty sure
And
that's English.
when I go onto any website, sorry for the rant, but I'm in Poland and it always loads the PL site, like /PL, and removing it from the URL does nothing. It just reloads it again from the same thing. So then I have
Yeah,
to use
I
Google
get that in
Translate.
Spain.
And they do have an option for a bunch of languages, but I don't speak any of these any better. So honestly, I think I guess that's Bulgarian or something. Yeah. I don't speak any of these, so I'm just translating with Google. Anyway, back to the point. These would all be custom fields. And the great thing about our plugin is that it does work with custom fields. And second of all, you can create a bunch of different variations within your shop. And sorry, I'm just getting back to the actual answer for the question. So is it possible with your plugin to do that exactly with all the variations? So yes, if you with the separate variations, and then you insert the product table shortcode or block in the product description, and then you can use CSS to hide the default variation pickers and the cart buttons, which we have described in this page here on our knowledge base. So there's an entire page dedicated to this adding product tables to the single product page, which is what we see in this example here. We have a single product, but then we also have a product table beneath it. So if you follow the directions on this particular knowledge base article, which will be linked in the YouTube video, and I can actually quickly show this in the live stream as well. Well, maybe let's see how quickly can I do it. There we go. Okay, you don't have to type in all the beginning stuff, but barn2.com/knowledge base, product tables, single product page, and that'll get you what you need.
Yeah, and you'll put that in the YouTube description afterwards, won't you?
Yeah. These kinds of things always go in the YouTube description. So these videos are useful for people after they have gone live, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, something occurred to me about that website we were just looking at, the access column. They would probably need our lead time plugin for that, wouldn't they? Because that's basically showing the lead time for each item. So to achieve that exactly, you would probably want WooCommerce Product Table and WooCommerce Lead Time. And then you've got the price column, which says including VAT. And I think that, yeah, that's a feature in WooCommerce itself, where in the WooCommerce settings, not our plugin, you can add a price suffix like including VAT. So you would need to do that in the WooCommerce settings, and then it would display in the price column of our plugin. So I think everything else is just WooCommerce Product Table as it comes, isn't it? Easy enough.
Yeah. I mean, building a table like this isn't too difficult once you have the custom product fields, which you would need to first add using a custom fields plugin. And once you have those working on all of your products, then it's just as simple as finding those in the column settings and adding them each as columns. And then the add to cart is the same. Like we have quantity pickers and we have cart buttons, and we even have some additional features like it gives you a running total of how many things you've selected, how much they're worth, like how much you're going to pay, and then you can add them all to your cart at one time. So it's definitely a very efficient solution with our plugin.
Yeah, and if
Right.
they've already got the data as attributes or something, they could just display those columns as attributes, and or if they want to filter by it, you can filter by attribute as well, can't you? So lots of ways to do it.
Yeah, there it is. I'm just bringing up the next demo for a plugin, just for a quick shout out, basically. Let's see. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Do you have a demo of multiple email recipients?
No,
anywhere?
go to the screenshots on the sales page, because it's not visual
Yeah.
enough to have a front end demo.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah,
just
got it.
like adding an email field to the checkout and settings to the admin. So we never bothered with a front end demo because nobody would see anything.
Right.
So yeah, if you
there we
go
are.
to the screenshot section near the bottom, then that
Yeah.
will be the best way.
Sure, there it is. Screenshots. Okay. All right. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to this plugin, WooCommerce Multiple Email Recipients, because we had a couple of people pre-submit their interest in the plugin, like Eric, but they didn't leave any particular questions. So that leaves us in the dark about what you want to know. But basically, this is a plugin that does two things. One, it allows you to add additional email input fields for customers so they can add more emails to their account. And two, it allows you to create more email notifications when an event happens, like when a product is sold. So there can be more recipients for a sale email, for example, or an order email. So this could go to a distributor, to a supplier, or something else, and it could also go to different departments within your company. So that's the use of this plugin. You can see on the back end here how you would add multiple different emails who would receive this new order email notification. And if I'm not wrong, you can add this for each of the different types of emails that WooCommerce sends out, right?
Yeah, you can do that per email. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, I don't know exactly what your question is, but you can see here how it works in the back end. You can have more email address fields for your customers, your users, and you can also send out more emails to your distributors or your internal team as well. All right. Now we can move on to Document Library Pro. Very good. I'll bring up the banner.
I think you need to unshare.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, good idea.
Okay, so Document Library Pro is the next feature plugin that we're going to feature. This is our most popular plugin, and it lets you add any type of document library or resource library to share information, basically either with the public or with internal contacts. You can display your documents and resources in a searchable table like this, which looks a lot like WooCommerce Product Table, and that's not a coincidence. They evolved from the same parent plugin, really, but the use case is completely different. It's used by things like government, education, membership associations, things like that, to display and share their resources online. And you can either have them in a table like this with the filters, and you've got download buttons and preview buttons and so on, or you can display them in folders, a bit like the file structure on your computer, or you can display it in a more visual grid with images or with file type icons like this. So it's super flexible, and it's all about sharing information. It's available as 2 plans, and if you buy the advanced plan, then what you can do is restrict access to those documents as well. That might be to people with the password, or it might be to logged in users based on their role, or just one specific user. So that gives you more features like that access control, version control, and more enterprise functionality, basically. And while we're on that plugin, I'm going to show you a new feature which we're just about to launch in the next few days. It's got through our quality assurance process and we're ready to launch it. So I'll present that now. And that is lead capture. Lots of people have said that they want to collect people's email addresses before they can download a document. So on this website, we've enabled the new lead capture feature, and I'm just going to trigger it now. Because I'm logged out, it's going to ask me to enter this information. All of this stuff is customizable through the admin, so you can change the wording and the fields and everything like that. And then people can send their email address to you. Once they've done that, then they will be able to download documents from you.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie, for the intro to Document Library Pro. Now, we did have one pre-submitted question which mentioned Document Library Pro, although I'm not really sure how it's related, because the question is, like, is there a particular AI system that is more effective at helping out with Document Library Pro development? And PJ noted that they may be asleep at this time, so probably not watching live, but for the replay, if you're interested, PJ, I'm not really sure what kind of development you're doing with Document Library Pro. As far as development goes, it's not really our area of expertise between Katie and I, and we prefer Claude as our main AI tool for a lot of things we do, including some development work. But we would probably have to consult with our own dev team to see what kind of extra things you're looking to do, and maybe we can point you in the right direction, or we can even point you to our services, because we do offer some in-house development services, in case that's something you're interested in. That's actually available on our website. You can go to our barn2.com/services and see if that's right for you.
Yeah, I would say that with AI, you need to give them the information. So in the Document Library Pro knowledge base, we've got extensive developer documentation, which is all the hooks and filters and actions and everything, and also PHP documentation. So whichever AI you're using, you need to feed that stuff to it so that it can modify. Well, it should not modify Document Library Pro. If it does that, it's made a mistake. It needs to hook into it by creating a helper plugin for you. And so you need to make sure it's doing that. We had a support request recently, actually, where somebody had modified our actual plugin, and it was very obvious they used AI for that. And AIs don't always know the best practices, so you need to guide it. Say, create a helper plugin that hooks into Document Library Pro in this way. These are the available hooks and filters. And honestly, most AIs would be good at that if you give them the right brief. I've got a lot of friends, developer friends, that use Claude Code particularly.
All right, let's get to a live comment which has to do with Document Library Pro. I haven't read it yet. You prepared to read it on stream, Katie?
Yeah, I've scanned it. I think we're okay.
Okay.
So Jeff says, Document Library Pro, I have a private forum for marine surveyors. We use an Mbox email reflective program with archives. I want to develop a combined resource which includes the archives, which are basically simple text emails with replies, PDF books, articles, videos, etc., as a full resource library with password access for about 200 subscribers. To protect publishing rights, I'd like to make the books read-only access, no download. I'd like a search engine that provides results of all the sources, like AI search. Okay, let's break that. Oh, he's got another comment, actually. So before we break that down, I'll read out the other comment. The requirements are syncing with Mbox Linux daily for archives, access permission to delineate access to archives versus access to all resources, AI search engine to provide resources with references, a good summary, and possibly a means to access outside sources outside of Document Library Pro. Okay, so the first bit is displaying all of those resources, like the PDF books, articles, videos, etc. That's just how it works. That's fine. Each resource can either be stored in your media library, or it can be a link to an external URL anywhere on the internet. So the download button in Document Library Pro in that case would not actually download something. It would take you to where it's stored, which might be Dropbox or Microsoft OneDrive or anywhere, literally. So that's how you would add it generally. You would need the advanced plan of Document Library Pro because you've talked about access, particularly you've said about password protection. And with the way that works is you can either password protect the entire document library to your 200 subscribers, and you would give them the shared password basically, or if they have individual accounts on your website, then you would give them unique logins as per WordPress login system. And if you wanted to only restrict certain parts of that library, then you would do it by category. So I'm just, does it say if it's parts or all? I think it might be the whole thing, but if you just wanted to password protect parts, that's fine too. And then we get to the more complicated bits that you'll need to do some stuff outside of Document Library Pro to do. The syncing with Mbox Linux is not part of our plugin. You would need to integrate something with WordPress to do that. Document Library Pro uses a custom post type called, I think it's DLP_documents. You would need to integrate with the WordPress MySQL database in order to do that syncing. And then that would just store them in that post type, which would work just fine. But that's not part of our plugin. So that requires some custom development. Reading through. I think the other bit I haven't covered is the AI search engine. So we integrate with Search WP if you want more advanced search, but I'm not aware, and I'm sure they haven't added AI features yet. So again, you might want to do that as a bespoke thing, which you can do using the hooks and filters in Document Library Pro. Again, it's just a post type. So any AI search engine that supports WordPress custom post types will work with that. Have we covered everything, do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just glad I'm not Jeff right now because this seems way above my head. Honestly.
Well, this is stored on YouTube, so you can watch it, what I just said, as many times as you want. But he sounds pretty technical, doesn't he?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think he knows
he's
what
running
he's doing.
Linux, so that's already miles ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he uses words like delineate, so I think he's going to understand my response. So, but he's watching live, so any follow-up questions, that's fine.
All right. Cool. Have we got
He
through
says not really. Well, ask any more questions in the chat.
Yeah, go for it, Jeff. At least we pronounce your name Jeff and not Geoff, which I'm sure you've heard a million times in your life.
Yeah, my father-in-law's called Jeff with that spelling, so I definitely know.
Cool. Just a quick shout out to I guess Jingu Yon from Korea. Hi, thanks for watching from Korea. I'm not even sure what time it is there.
Yeah,
that
must be the middle of the night in Korea.
Middle of the night, early morning, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they're up already. It's far, far away.
Yeah. Jeff says, yeah, but yes, thanks. You have a developer to talk to. You have? He has a developer, or we have? I'm not sure.
Hopefully we all do.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we're probably getting off track. We have a few more questions about the current plugin, which is Document Library Pro. Yes, we have a dev team on Barn2, by the way, Jeff, if you're wondering. All right, let's get back to our questions. So this is the next question, and I'm just checking if it's okay. Katie, you just did a great job of the last question, but this is also yours.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just logging into the admin because I'm going to need to show how this works. So the question is, tell me about how to use the optional links to external systems in Document Library Pro. My client must publish public-facing PDFs on the site categorized by month. Yeah, that is exactly what you can do with it. And I'm going to go and create a new document now. Here is my screen. So I'm going to go Documents, Add New. And most people, when they create a document, can you see my open drop down, Sam?
No, I don't see an open drop down. I just see the square, the box.
Yeah, we've had this before, haven't we? It seems to be a limitation of our web.
It's actually, if you display the entire window, it should show it.
Okay.
Instead of sharing the tab.
So I'll remove that, and then I want to present again.
Yeah. I think that's what you're looking to do. Yeah.
Now, window, right. Right, this is going to share the wrong thing now. Okay, quickly go to that. There. Is that, can you see the drop down now?
Oh, unfortunately, no, I don't see
Fine,
it.
I will read it out. So here, where it says file near the top of the page, most people choose file upload, and then they add a file to their WordPress media library. But you could also add a file URL. And as you can see, when I select this, it's just a URL field. So you can literally add any URL anywhere on the internet. It might be a YouTube link. We're talking about PDFs in this question. So that PDF might be stored on your staff intranet. It might be in Dropbox or Google Drive or absolutely anywhere. It doesn't matter. And that will appear in the front end document library, which I'll just show you where the download button is. You might want to rename it. I mean, if it's a PDF, then yes, it will download the PDF when it's stored externally. But if you were linking to something like YouTube videos, then you might not want that. You might want to say view or something like that. So that's pretty, I should stop clicking because you can, how do I stop sharing my screen without showing you this infinite?
It's because you're have them open in the same window, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to share tab next time.
Yeah, sure.
I
although I was going to ask you to keep that demo open because it's entirely related to the next question.
Okay.
So the next question, can I link the documents in the grid to a WooCommerce product? Well, grid or table is actually irrelevant here. It's not the major thing. The main thing is that you have links within the document library in general, and that those links go somewhere. So just like Katie showed us before, you can add a URL instead of a direct file, and that can actually link to anything. It can link to a product page, for example, and you can also use WooCommerce add to cart URLs too if you don't want to go through, I guess, like the direct product page. You can just have the add to cart URL. So I'll show you a WooCommerce page, which can there we go. This is on WooCommerce.com. It's a quick guide to WooCommerce add to cart URLs. This is one of their support articles. And this just explains how to actually create a direct link to setting it up so people will actually add an item to their cart when they click on the link. And you can set up that link with your document library like Katie just showed us. So basically, you can have a document library which links through to adding items to your cart. And again, I will link this page in particular in the description of the YouTube video after we are finished going live. All right, last question. Are you able to restrict document access by cookies? I'm gonna drop off here.
So yeah, you can do that. So that you need the advanced plan again, which has those access controls that we talked about. If you create password protected documents or document categories or any level of protection with password protection, that uses a cookie. It is actually the same cookie that WordPress itself uses for password protected pages and posts. And in our Document Library Pro settings page, there's an option that you can use to control how many days will pass before that cookie expires and people will lose access to the library unless they enter the password again. So that's the way to do it. You use password protected categories and they use cookies. I mean, of course, the WordPress login system uses cookies like all login systems. So if you did create user or role protected categories where they are logging into an account rather than entering a password, in theory, that uses cookies, but that's a bit more indirect. So I think you're probably talking about the password side of things, where they just enter a simple password, stores a cookie on their browser, and then they can keep accessing it until that cookie eventually expires.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Katie. If you want, I can demo the next plugin because I actually have it up and ready to go.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's just hide this one. So I'm going to demo, next up is WooCommerce Product Filters. This is a advanced filter program plugin, sorry, for WooCommerce. And if you're not familiar with what you get out of the box with WooCommerce, it comes with really, really basic filtering options, and they've never really done anything significant in that area. So filtering, especially in like the modern e-commerce sense, is absolutely essential. And if you are just using the basic filters available in WooCommerce, you are dropping the ball for sure. So these filters over here on the right are a great example of what our plugin can do. You can actually display the filters as drop downs on the top here, or as an entire widget on the side like these ones are. So of course you can filter by various different categories, which can include images if you want, color swashes, um, text fields, things like this, as well as search option, ratings, category, a price slider. This is something very common on almost every e-commerce site these days. So yeah, if you want to be running a modern e-commerce shop, you do need to add filters, and this plugin does it all really well. All right, let's get into our questions. This one asks, okay, does WooCommerce product filters work with Divi 5? All right. So first of all, we do make all of our plugins to be compatible with the top, most popular themes and page builders within WordPress in general. And Divi being one of the most popular ones out there, it is compatible with all of our plugins, and we regularly test for compatibility. Of course, we can't always know what Divi is doing and predict the future, but if there's ever an issue, we obviously work to resolve it in the following updates. We have a page specifically for this related to product filters. I'm just going to bring that up. I did bring it up. Good. Okay. Using product filters with blocks, page builder, plugins, and WooCommerce shortcodes, because there is some nuance to how you should use the filter plugin with the various different page builders. So you can read through, and you can get down to the Divi builder here, and you can find out how to create custom pages and go through all of the steps to add the plugins filters to your site within the Divi builder. All right. And if you have any issues, obviously contact our support team, because this is the sort of thing that they are there to help you with.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the next plugin, I just realized there was a part of Jeff's question which I didn't answer, which was that he wanted to prevent people from downloading the documents so they can view them on the site, but not actually download them to their computers. So I just want to share a knowledge base link about how to do that, because there's various ways to do it. So this is a knowledge base article. There's the link on the screen, prevent downloads. And that allows people to view them without being able to download them. The first method is to only have the document preview, like the little magnifying glass icons, where they can view a pop-up with document embedded in it, but they can't actually download from it. So we've got that. You could also embed the documents directly in the page. So each document in the library can have its own page where you can click on the title or a button to access the single document page. It's a bit like a blog post page, but it's a document page. And what you can do is embed the document within that page, either just by pasting the content in, or you could use something like a Google Drive embedder or a Flipbook plugin to embed it within that page. And again, that way people can read it online without being able to download it. And then, as we've already talked about with Jeff, there is the advanced plans access restrictions, where you can let people download the documents, but only after they've logged in and proven that they should have access. So hopefully that answers the final part of that question.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Katie. I was not thinking about that at all, because I had already moved on mentally. I'm glad.
Yeah, I just had something in my mind of like someone who wanted to know that how to not download documents. And yeah.
I don't know if this is a big diversion, but I've been reading the book Flowers for Algernon, and apparently everybody I talk to has read this book except for me.
Oh,
And
I've not read it.
no, okay, so I'm reading the book, and there's basically two parts to the book. There's a part where the same character is really not smart, and then there's a part where he's really smart. And I feel more like the guy who's really not smart when I'm going through life sometimes. So that's where I find myself. And anyone who's read the book will maybe can relate as well. I'm not sure. Alrighty, cool. We're really flying through, and I love that we're getting through lots of questions. But I also love answering your guys' live questions. And by the way, it's been a while since we talked about it, so I'm going to bring it up again. We are offering all of our live viewers 25% off for just the next 2 hours with the code LIVE25. You can enter that code at checkout and get 25% off your order if you do it in the next 2 hours. So you can either watch to the end of the stream and then go buy something, or you can just head over there right now and it'll already be working, but it won't be working for very long. So get over there and buy a plugin if that's what you're hoping to do today. Alrighty, cool. And leave us a comment and let us know if you guys have used that code, because we would love to know what you guys are up to. So next plugin, WooCommerce Lead Time. Have I got it ready to go? I think I do. I'm just gotta look around. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. Let's bring that up. Yeah, this is the next one. Okay, cool. So WooCommerce Lead Time. This is a demo page which shows a bunch of different ways that this plugin can be used to indicate when products will be available or other types of things. So maybe I can actually zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. Here we go. Yes, it does work. So the plugin is adding this little bit of text here. Ready for dispatch in 5 days. This is completely custom. You can decide what it says. And this is a made to order product, so we can go to that page in a second. Or you can see this text here, available on back order. And that's like a toggle on or off. You can show that text, and then you can show the waiting time. And again, you can put a completely custom message here. Let's see if there's anything else. Handling time, 1 week. Whatever kind of messaging you want to add to the prefix or suffix of a product add to cart button or price, you can do that with this lead time plugin. So yeah, you can add a custom message. Built to order product, handling time is 3 days. Or you can have an out of stock reminder with the expected availability date. This is the kind of thing that elevates your store from just an ordinary shop to something that customers can actually rely on and build trust with. So there's an example of several examples of how to use this plugin. Now let's go into the first question.
Right. So we sell thousands of products with mixed fulfillment, in stock, fast dropship, slow dropship, made to order, and unreliable suppliers with unknown availability, each requiring different lead times. Can your WooCommerce lead time automatically display the correct lead time per product, including in the cart, without manually setting it on each product? Yeah, the way to do that, Dom, is to do it on the category level. So that would mean that you need to have different categories for the different lead times, basically, like one for each supplier or drop shipper or something like that. And then you go to the edit category page in WooCommerce and add your lead time there. That will override any global lead time you might have set. And also you don't have to add a product specific lead time. And for each category, you can either add some static text, like if it's always the same waiting time, like available in 2 weeks or something like that. Or you can actually choose a dynamic lead time with a date where you select the calendar date that will appear to say next stock arriving 30th of April or something like that.
I have a question, Katie. Is a brand in WooCommerce the same level as a category, and would it work with lead time?
No, because it's a custom taxonomy, and
Yeah.
lead time works with categories, but not other custom taxonomies.
Yeah. Okay, sure. So it has to be a category then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Alrighty. Great question, by the way. Yeah, and if you follow Katie's solution, then I guess the plugin should work in your case because it's very flexible. There are lots of different ways you can configure the lead times or out of stock reminders, and it's just a matter of managing it. And I know that must be a headache for you because unreliable suppliers can be probably the biggest headache for shops. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
You know, WooCommerce Lead Time did really well during COVID because of all the supply issues that people suddenly had.
Mm.
We weren't expecting it. Suddenly loads of people were buying WooCommerce Lead Time because of those
Mhm.
temporary supply issues that they had to notify their customers about. So that was interesting.
Not to mention the that giant ship that crashed in the Suez Canal for a couple of weeks, I think. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, that was quite the drama. I think it was all on top of COVID as well.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're coming up to the last featured plugin for the day, the ones that we have questions about. But if you have a question in mind, of course, leave it in the comments. So this is Katie's going to show us WooCommerce Private Store.
Yeah. Private store. This is a bit ironic because I'm going to show you the plugin and then tell the customer that it's the wrong one.
Oh,
I
okay. Well,
I
it's a
will
good
show you
chance to
it
talk about it
briefly.
anyway.
It's not a very visual one to demonstrate anyway. WooCommerce Private Store makes your store private. It's called that for a reason. What that means is that all of your WooCommerce pages, which is your shop page, your account page, your product pages, your product categories, and so on, are all hidden from public view. It does this on a global basis. So if somebody has unlocked the store, either by entering a password or logging into their account, then they will have full access to all your products and can buy them as usual. And if they haven't done that, they will not even be able to see that you have a store. It's if you want more fine-grained control, we have a WooCommerce Protected Categories plugin, which lets you restrict access on a category basis. But WooCommerce Private Store is like an absolute version of it that it hides from everybody. Now, can we go to the question, Sam? And then
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
demonstrate the other plugin I'm going to recommend once you get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm evaluating WooCommerce Private Store for a private B2B shop and need customers to register um, to be put in pending status and require manual admin approval before they can access the store. Does the plugin block login until admin approval? Yeah, great question. And Katie, you mentioned there's a separate plugin. I'll bring up a demo for that now.
Oh, I've just done it, so
Oh, good.
you can talk, and I'll go to the relevant pages if you want.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do it. So we're going to recommend a different plugin, not Private Store specifically, but actually Wholesale Pro. And the reason why is because this plugin allows you to moderate new users, as in like your new wholesale registrants, for example. So what you do is you'll create a new wholesale role, and then you'll add all of those new users, the ones who register or the ones who are already part of your store, and they will be the ones who have access to that sort of level or private level of your store that you want them to. And that private level of your store can have different prices. You can set up the pricing for those different users, for your wholesale users, for example. Thank you, Katie. And you can also hide this section of your store from the public if you want to. You actually have a lot of control over things like hiding prices or showing prices, hiding categories or showing categories, and also basically not allowing people to access those parts of your store without logging in. And so it's actually a much better setup for what you're looking for. Private Store is a very specialized plugin, and it does one thing really, really well, but it doesn't do a lot of other things like the wholesale registration, for example, that we've just talked about. In fact, I wanted to mention something for people who happen to be using Private Store. I ran across this problem the other day when I was making a video including this plugin, and I left the plugin enabled kind of by mistake, and I could not find the menu items for my store. And it was
It
such a
does that.
shock. I was like, I was looking everywhere. I was like, how is this? Why is this menu not working? I deleted the menu. I recreated it from scratch. And then I realized Private Store is so private, even I can't find the menu items. And I'm not sure if that's expected behavior for admins. I was going to ask you about that actually, but it was.
It depends if the store is unlocked for admins. So you could have set it up. My recommended setup would be, regardless of what access controls you choose, you always make it available to admins. But Sam didn't do that. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to say that's not a bug. It's a feature. Sorry.
Yeah. I think what's interesting is that at some point I must have changed that setting or not enabled that setting, and totally forgot about it since the last time I used the plugin. And then when I re-enabled the plugin, it had all those protections even for admins. But yeah, once I discovered that and figured it out, of course it was a very easy fix, but it was quite hilarious.
But it's really good. Like, if you want to do that, then it means you can have a whole complex menu for your store customers, but people that don't have access to the shop won't see any of those menu items to product categories and things. So that was intentional, but not what you wanted.
No, yeah, at the time it was very frustrating, but it was only because I forgot that I had kept the plugin enabled and didn't disable it at the time. Oh, anyways, that was my my level of expertise when it comes to these things sometimes. I promise I'm better on some days, but maybe I didn't get much sleep that night with my son or something. Alrighty. Well, excellent. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this live stream. And I'm going to mention one more time before you go that you can get 25% off using the code LIVE25. And that's really only good for the next hour after this live stream ends. So get in there, go to barn2.com, find any of the plugins that we talked about or any of the other ones that we didn't mention, and you can save 25%. And I can tell you that we do not do sales for basically the entire year. So getting 25% off our plugins is an absolute steal. And so if you're watching live, now's the time to jump in and grab that. Our next live stream will be on the 19th of March. I guess that's exactly 4 weeks from now on a Thursday. And we look forward to seeing you guys there. You can pre-register your questions on our events page, barn2.com/events. You can find all our upcoming live streams, and you can register your questions with the next one. If you have a support question, do reach out to support though, because we won't be doing this live stream next week, just next month, of course.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.